baselines and so forth. You just gotta go with what you identify. Don't exclude any answers just because you used them once. And then the rest is covered up. So we'll have to unveil the intestines, remove the greater omentum, and now you have great intestinal anatomy here. This was cut off from the pyloric sphincter, so from the lower end of the stomach, first part of the small intestine right there, left-hand curvature, duodenum. You're then coiling up over here on the left side, jejunum. Drop down on the left, go back to the right side, ileum. So you got your three named parts of the small intestine. You know the lengths: duodenum, 1 foot, jejunum, 8 feet, and ileum, 12 feet. So average 21 feet for small intestine. I would say more centrally located in the abdominal cavity. You'll also note a lot of supporting tissue for that 21 feet of muscular tube. All of this mesentery. It usually looks sort of yellowish because it has a lot of fat deposited in that tissue. And then here you can see in the lower right side where the ileum connects to the colon, the large intestine. You would call that connection by its abbreviation ileocecal valve or ileocecal junction, ICV or ICJ, where they connect. So if we abbreviate, I would prefer that you abbreviate. Sound more professional. So going into the side, we then get this cul-de-sac, lined pouch, cecum, lower right side, up the right side, ascending colon, turn underneath the liver, hepatic flexure, cross under the stomach, transverse colon, turn down underneath the spleen, splenic flexure, descending colon going down the left side, and then a little S shape in the pelvis, actually the brim, the top of the ilium. So you get sigmoid, S, and then straightens out intrapelvically, posteriorly for rectum back here. So now you have the large bowel framing the small bowel. Two different characteristics of the colon: longitudinal bands on the surface, T. coli, causing pouching in the wall, haustra, or saculations. So it gives the large bowel a different look than the small bowel. And then here you get a real good look at that glistening reflective external membrane, perfectly clear in the healthy individual, visceral peritoneum. So you're looking straight through it at the muscle. It's cloudy if it gets infected or dries out. So that's everything you should know about intestinal anatomy. Small and large, yes.
Can you just repeat the pt2 and the haustra again?
So unique to the colon, on the exterior surface, you have 3 of these longitudinal bands. lengthwise on the surface, that's a T. coli. And I would say I describe it as a longitudinal band. And when they contract, it forms these pouches in the wall. Those are the house struts. So the large bowel has that pouchy look. You don't get that in the small bowel. Okay. Very good. And sort of like a general review, you can go from top to bottom. So I always like it because it's just a perfect total presentation of the sequence of the GI tract. So you just start right at the top, esophagus. Really gives you the perfect anatomy here. It goes into the side of the stomach, not the top of it. So you get the attachment areas, the cardia. Creates a bubble to the left, fundus, most of it body, all of this. And where it narrows down, pylorus, lower end. Supported into the posterior body wall off a lesser curvature. You see the remains of it as the lesser omentum, right here. And then coming out of the stomach behind the colon, you pick it up here, right-hand side of the abdominal cavity, and now making a left-hand turn. So this has to be duodenum. Over here on the left, just generally in this area, jejunum. Drop down, go back to the right. You see the attachment, gotta be ileum, all supported by mesentery, all of this fat-laden mesentery, where it attaches, ICV or ICJ, lined pouch starting the large bowel, lower right-hand side. This shows a nice appendix. I won't ask about it. It's really not a GI structure. It's not functionally. It's in the immune system. And so, ascending right side, turn under the liver, transverse, turn down under the spleen, descending, sigmoid with the S curve, and then rectum pulled forward from the pelvis. Longitudinal band on the surface. One here, one over here. T. coli, pouches, haustra. Right? And then all looking glistening, reflective membrane, visceral peritoneum. And then we scrunched up this fatty tissue apron so we could see the intestines underneath. So all of this, greater omentum. Completely mobile in the healthy individual. So that's everything you need for sort of a top to bottom gross anatomy. Yes.
You would not be able to see the intestines if the greater omentum was
In
covering.
a normal presentation, when you open up the abdominal wall, this fatty tissue apron hangs over everything.
Okay.
Now it can get shifted and moved around, but normally, if everything's healthy, it just drapes unattached over all the viscera. Technically hanging down from the greater curvature of the stomach. So here we had to push it up so you could see what's underneath. You cementum, completely mobile. This fatty tissue apron. All right. Okay, then let's go to histo. Surface of the tongue. I won't bother you with this at all, but if you're just interested with the filiform sort of shearing off all the time. Fungiform, those little lily pads. Way back, we even took a look at the valates in the back. They're not really something I want you to bother with. Go right to the salivary glands. Can you tell them apart histologically? And so all you do is look at the glandular area, just a little area, and say, well, it's all dark. All serous cells, instantly parotid. That's all you have to do. There are other things, connective tissue and ducts. Just isolate on a little area. The next possibility, dark cells, serous, but then there's some light cells. You think those letters will be there next week? Only if a Porsche shows up in my driveway. Otherwise, those will not be there. You gotta see, yeah, light cells. In the pre-exam, you'll see this without the letters. Little mucus clusters, just a little bit, equals submandibular glands. And so we say a lot of serous with a little bit of mucus. That always equals submandibular. You'll also note with mucus clustering, you can have caps of serous, little crescents. Here, here, here. But this is the best one. Demi-lune. Demi-lune means crescent. So we say, yeah, even you'll hear serous demi-lune, which is redundant. Demi-lune automatically is serous. Okay? You don't see demi-lunes in parotid, because there's no mucus. It's only when you have them capping the mucus cells. Also, you need to know the duct sequence for salivary glands. So I'll ask, what is the smallest duct found in salivary glands? Don't point to anything, it's strictly descriptive. Intercalated, which go into larger ducts, striated, and then into excretory ducts. So that's the list on your handout where you can know the 3 levels of ducts. You can actually see this is an intercalated right there, is going into a striated, which is right here. Larger, thicker wall. If that's no ID, it's strictly asking you, do you know those 3 levels? All right. And then you take a look at the next one. Oh, that looks like all light cells. Mucus. We now say, oh, it's almost all mucus. Gotta be
Sublingual.
sublingual. Great masses of mucus cells. Though you still have serous, dislobe, little dark areas, little serous clusters. So we say mostly mucus, but you can still have serous, little demi-lunes. Would greatly magnify those